Hello everybody, Brad Clemens back again. This week we're talking about the book The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I know I had said that I was going to be talking about Give and Take by Adam Grant next. However, things got rearranged, things got shuffled about a bit, and I ended up with this guy instead. Quite honestly, I truly enjoyed this book. I picked it up on Monday this past week and I finished it on Thursday. So I got through the entire thing in about 4 days. It's a short read. In essence, no more than about 160 pages, but it really caught my attention. It really gets me involved and, made me want to keep reading and keep learning and keep going through it. So again, that's The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, right here. You may have heard of him before. You may have heard his name. He is one of the publishers for Success magazine and the other tabloids that go along with it, including online stuff as well now. So you probably have heard about him, but let's get right into it. I saw this book, The Compound Effect, as more of a personal development group book. It's more of self-growth. Kind of related back to when I read, it's slipping my mind right now. It'll come to me. But again, self-growth book, and it goes along the concept that what you do will have 1% gains throughout, and that if you continue to go with it and if you have consistency, that's what's going to help you grow, develop. Now, the compound effect, as he explains, can work both positively as well as negatively. So a good way to think about it would be with your diet, right? If you just think that having an extra, scoop of ice cream every night won't have a big deal, won't be a big deal, because again, it's only one scoop of ice cream. It's only even if you follow the servings, 150 calories. It's not huge to do, right? But if you do it every single day for a year, you may start seeing a little bit of a change, possibly. Practically unnoticeable. If you keep doing that throughout your entire life, you're going to see a rather massive change compared to somebody that didn't eat extra ice cream every night. They may just be the same as they were before they started that journey, or before that time frame. And if you compare it to somebody that would take out 150 calories every day by maybe not having that second scoop of portion for dinner or whatever, maybe ignoring the extra granola bar, or changing up what they have. Instead of eating chips as like a snack, they have carrots or something, right? But in essence, again, what you do now will have great effect on what you do later. I know I see this is true with my investments, my retirement. I am putting in only, just getting started, but I put in the $6,000 in my Roth IRA last year, and looking to do the same this year, max out my Roth. Starting in 2022, I'm hoping to do more with probably more of a traditional or simple IRA, and continue going from there. But needless to say, the $500 I invest every month doesn't seem like a whole lot. In fact, it may seem for many of you that there's more important things that you can be doing with that $500 now than putting it off for later. And I get that. There's things you want to buy, things you want to do, and quite honestly, you don't really see the payout because it's so many years in advance, so many years from now. I know right now, let's say I invest for last year and I invest for this year. Without talking about any interest, I'll have $12,000 in my retirement base, retirement saving. Not a whole lot, but I'm 24. So, I started investing at 23. If I go out to 65, that's what, 43, 42 years, depending which way you want to look at it. That's a long time. That's a long time. And if I didn't invest anything else for that period of time, I'd be close to having $1 million, if not there. Now, why is that? It's simply because of, compound interest. Typically, if you have good mutual funds, which I believe that I do, I've chosen ones that have track records of success. They gain 10 to 12% annual, which means every 7 years they double. So let's take it right now. Let's start from this year. If 7 years from now, I would have 24,000. 7 years from then, $48,000. 7 years from then, $96,000. 7 years from then, give me a moment here, $192,000. 7 years from then, $384,000. And then 7 years from then, it'd be $772,000. So that's right about retirement age right there, give or take a couple years. And I'm very close to being a millionaire, 3/4 of the way there. If I don't use that money again until I'm 72, I would have a 1.4 some million. So let's take a moment to let that sink in. And that's if I do absolutely nothing for the next 40 some years. That's not gonna be the case. I'm gonna continue to invest myself. So by the time I retire, I'm gonna be a multi-millionaire. And the same is said for, whatever it is you wanna do with your life. He gives the example of the penny thing, the penny spectrum, where if do you want $1 million now, or do you want to take a penny compounded on itself for a month? It isn't until the last few days that you end up making more money than $1 million. But it does really get you thinking. It does get you thinking. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, Brad, these are all great ideas and grandeur and all that, but what can that do for me? How can I apply that to myself now? And I think the first thing you have to do is choose something that you want to, make better. Whether that's increasing a habit of some kind or decreasing a habit of another kind. I say that very carefully because whenever you take the term of a more negative term, it's far harder to actually accomplish something because it's not as easy to get behind it. So you couldn't say, instead of saying I want to lose weight, which is a negative, not necessarily a negative outcome, but a negative way of thinking about it because you're using lose. You could say, I want to live a more healthy lifestyle. Again, you want to tailor it in so it's more specific to what it is you're doing, but it's still the same outcome. It just has a different path to get there, or a different interpretation of how to get there. And one of them is happier for you because you're not thinking about what I can't have and what I can't do in order to not gain weight. If you're talking about losing weight, you'll think, I can't eat sweets, I can't have a snack, I can't have a soda, whatever it may be. But if you change it to, I want to live a healthy lifestyle, it's now, what can I do? I get to, enjoy all these various fruits. I get to go on a walk with my family. I get to go to the gym so that way I can live longer and see my grandkids. Whatever it is you're looking for, you have to create a why to go along with that. So that's, everything starts with a choice, and your choices are what lead to action. What you choose right now affects what happens later on. It's like the butterfly effect, where it talks about if a butterfly flaps its wings somewhere in the world, it may cause a tornado, across the seas. You could have something as dramatic as that. You might not see it right in the moment, but over the course of time, you might get to that point. And that's created through something called momentum. And, he calls it Big Mo. It's when, you have, everything seems to be going right, or everything seems to be going wrong. It's kind of like the old saying that you hear, when things are going right, you look better than you are. When things are going wrong, you look far worse than you are. And I believe that to be true because it's almost like, reality's on your side. It's almost like the stars are aligning. You have luck. And luck is, in my opinion, created through opportunity. Not necessarily, let me rephrase that. Not necessarily created, but luck is found when you have opportunity meets commitment, meets energy. And that means the opportunity, the external opportunity meets, well, in this case, let's talk about me, or a person, external opportunity meets a person that's ready, one, to see it, two, to ready to take action with it, and 3, committed to make the results happen. If you don't see the opportunity, it flies right past you. If that person saw the opportunity and is like, oh, look at that, there's a chance for you to do something, but then chooses not to do something, doesn't have an action, the opportunity still goes by. If that person sees it, acts on it, but doesn't continue to have that same consistency towards it, you may have a result for a moment, but it won't last that long. It's only after you have all 3 that you actually see positive change. And that's harder than, easier said than done. Everyone wants the easy way out. Everyone wants to find the easy way to do things. But it's the ones that have the greatest work ethic, the ones that have the ability to struggle through, but still persist, those are the ones that win. It's amazing how much being able to deal with hardship and being able to have passion can overrule and override, and if you're in a competition, help you win against someone that has more talent, more skill, more intelligence, whatever it may be. Heart, that drive is really what lets you get through. Having guts. They always say no guts, no glory, right? And with that, that's what you get through. But let's get into this book a little bit more. So we briefly talked about what the compound effect is, the concept of having choices, and momentum. As we know, choices, if you continue it long enough, creates a habit. We always talk about how if you can continue the same choice for 3 weeks, 21 days right about, you have a much better chance to make it a habit. It doesn't actually create the habit then, but it's on the right track and it sets the foundation to make that said thing a habit. So I challenge you, find something that you want to, change about yourself. And then write it down, because if you don't write it down, it's never going to happen. He explains that any dreams, or let me rephrase this again. Any ideas, any plans, any goals that you want to have, if they're not written down, are strictly just dreams in your head. And as we know, dreams don't really happen. So let's make those goals no longer dreams. Let's make them a reality. Write them down. Make it happen. And then after that, you have to find a course to get there. And don't go over the top. If you want to get in better shape, don't go to the gym, start going to the gym 7 days a week, 2 hours a day, and expect to be able to keep going. Start small. Maybe do 3 days a week for half an hour. Or if you've never done anything like this before and aren't sure that you're gonna be able to make it happen, start by going 3 days a week, but don't do anything. Just go to the gym, put your shoes on, arrive, stay for a few minutes, and then head home. Build the habit first about being the one that shows up. Showing up is half the battle. The first part of the battle is realizing that there may be a problem or something you want to change. Identification. After you identify, show up. If you want to get better shape, show up. Then you can start working out. If you want to read more, show up. Go to the library. That doesn't even mean check out a book. Step 1, choose to read more. Step 2, show up at the library. Step 3, check out a book. You might not even read it. Step 4, read it. 5, repeat. What else can you use it for? Let's say you want to, what's something that's big right now? Learn how to play the piano. Maybe you have a piano. Just sit there. Don't even worry about playing yet. You get the idea. Start small. Make it so it's actually doable, tolerable, and something you're ready to commit to long term. Having flash intensity is great, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Because the last thing you want to do is to have to stop and start. We all know it's far easier if you're driving down the highway to keep, to press cruise and just go. You save more gas because you're not fluctuating, and it's just an easier drive. But when you have to stop and start, you use up a lot more gas, use up a lot more energy. Same is said for you. If you have to keep stopping and starting, you want to get back in shape and you go to the gym, you push in some massive intensity, multi-hours a day for like, a week, and then you're like exhausted and you overexert your body, you can't actually continue forward, you stop, and then guess what? A month and a half later, you're like, oh, I gotta get in better shape again. And you repeat. You go hard for a week, then you stop for another 2 months. Then you go hard for a week and you stop for another 2 months. Are you actually getting anywhere? No. It's the same reason when people go on fad diets that, they may lose a good amount of weight, but they don't, do you know what happens after? They gain all their weight back plus some, because that's not a sustainable lifestyle. You're not going to live off of that tiny itty bitty amount that you're allowed to consume in that fad diet. And as soon as if I was like, let's say, take me, I'm 185 pounds, give or take. Let's say I want to get to 150. I take a fad diet, I'm sure to get there if I follow it. But what happens once you get there? Are you going to continue with that diet? Probably not. And guess what happens then? You go right back up and then some. So you have to find something that you're willing to commit to, that you accept as a lifestyle, not just a temporary change. So that's what a habit is. Everyone has good habits. Everyone has bad habits. And the big thing you have to do is become aware of your non-chosen habits, your unconscious habits. We sleepwalk through the day so often, so we have to become aware of the ones that just kind of showed up that we may not want, or maybe we do. So give yourself a moment, take a moment to self-reflect and see what it is that you actually, what habits do you have? Good, bad, separate those. Then look through those. Which habits do you have that you're aware of or not aware of? Ask your friends, ask your family, I'm sure you'll find stuff. Take for instance, I bite my nails. Bad habit. I don't really know how or why it started though. I never just blatantly came out and chose to begin biting my nails. It just kind of happened. I don't know if it's from a perfection standpoint that I always want them groomed. I don't know if it's from a nervous, anxious tendency. I'm not exactly sure why. And I'm trying to break it, but I've had 20 plus years of doing it. I've gotten better, but it's not best. It's not gone yet. So there'll be setbacks, but don't let that stop you. Big thing is though, whenever you do choose to make something happen like that, you have to set yourself up for success. So if you're trying to stop drinking, well, get rid of the bottles. If you're trying to lose weight or, get a healthier lifestyle, don't go to the grocery store when you're hungry and buy a ton of junk food. In my case, trying to not bite my nails, I need to work and ensure that I, clip them, file them, so that way there's nothing to bite. That's where I struggle with some too, but I digress. Again though, very good book. I know I just talked about more of how it applies and how it applied to me and how I feel like it can apply to you, but I do think this was a very good book. It's got me thinking, and he talks about how if you're going to change anything, you need to make it, trackable. You need to track it. If you're talking about living that healthier lifestyle, track your minutes in the gym or working out. Track your calories in, track your calories out. You need to know where you've been so you know where to go or where you're heading. I do that with my workouts. I track my workouts. I track my calorie intake and outflow. I want to know how much I've had, how much I've consumed, how much I've used, and I use that to ensure that I'm in good shape, that I stay in good shape. What else do I do? I mean, that's a big one for me. The fitness, that's what I do there. Again, I track my calories in, out, and I log my workouts. A new one I just started. I want to work to become more grateful, or do better at expressing gratitude. So I've just started a gratitude journal. It's nothing big, it's nothing fancy, and every night I, take a moment, I write down I am grateful for, and I just choose one thing that I was grateful for that day. And then after that, I say, I have a quick list of who did I thank today. I'm sure I don't hit everybody. But I write it down, maybe I was at the bar. I would say I thanked my, if I thanked my bartender for, getting my drinks, I would put down, I thanked my bartender. Let's say my friend helped me with a project. I would say I thanked my friend. If I know who they are, I'd put their name. And then I also have a list of who I didn't thank that I should have. Take, for instance, the other day, my one bud met up with me, we hung out for a bit. I don't remember doing so, and if I did, I must not have done it very well, and if I didn't, I should have. I didn't thank him for joining me, so I wrote that down. And it brings an awareness to myself to work on, this skill. I just had a call with my one friend today. He's helped me through, a couple things, and I made sure to thank him not only at the end of the phone call, but I followed up with a message, a text, a little bit after to thank him again, because it was, taking him out of his day. He didn't need to do that, but he chose to help me. And it's something I've struggled with. I need to work on expressing gratitude for various reasons. One is something I just need to do. Two, I feel like it'll help me become a better person and understand that not everybody's perfect. And I can start, be okay with the concept that, mistakes happen, but if I focus on the good and the things that they've done that are, good and beneficial, then I see more good in them than bad. And it, I just think it's going to help out there, and it also helps myself that I can start expressing gratitude for myself, have that humility to understand that I'm not perfect either. And through that, I can, become a better person, become, for my relationship, my next relationship, when I find that girl that is the one, I can treat her like she's supposed to be treated, be grateful for having her, grateful for what she does for me, and, just thankful for being with her and be able to do the same, hope to be able to do the same for her, or my students, my business, be grateful for the students I have, the parents that support us, be grateful for the friends and my family that I have around me. And I think it's taken me a while to realize this, and I've only been doing this journal for about a week now. But actually, this book was a big indicator for me to start doing that. But I think it's been a big help. Unfortunately, it was a little too late for me in one aspect of my life, but I'm sure the lesson learned will carry over and help me in the future. So I don't want you guys to have that moment where you realize it's too late. If there's something you want to change it. Work at it, make it happen. Don't look back at the moment you realize and see that you could have done something to make it better, to just find that it's too late. It hurts. It does. And I don't want that for you. So if you're listening to this and there's something you want to change, maybe it's the gratitude like I'm talking about. That way you can, have a stronger relationship with your significant other. That way you don't, the relationship doesn't end, you don't have a breakup. Maybe it's, trying to live a healthier lifestyle so you can, live longer, see your kids grow, see that, be able to meet your grandkids. The last thing you want to do is find yourself on your deathbed and it's too late. Maybe there's you want to learn a new language. What's stopping you? Start now. Start today. You're scared? Start. You don't know what to do? Start. You need help? Find it and start. Find a mentor, find a coach. That's the other thing that this book inspired me to do. I've joined several different groups around my community. Just started with Facebook groups for entrepreneurs, for business leaders. I want to find more people that are like me, that I can share ideas with, that I can grow with, that can help me grow, and I can help them grow. You can have a coach for anything in your life. You want to get in better shape? Don't know what to do? Hire a personal trainer. You want to have a better diet? Don't know what to do? Find a dietitian, get a nutritionist. You want to get in, set your financial straits in order? Get a financial advisor, talk to a CPA. You want to make sure that you're ready for, when your time comes on this earth, talk to an accountant, have a will in order, have your living will, have your affairs, your estate plan. You want to make sure, you want to learn how to play an instrument, find a band, find a teacher. Find someone that can teach you there. You get the idea. It can go on and on and on. Just start. What do you have to lose? I always hear people talk about, take for instance, you want to go back to school. Maybe it's a 4-year degree. Someone like me, they're like, if I go back to school 4 or 5 years from now, I'm gonna be 30. Yeah. Guess what's gonna happen in 4 or 5 years anyways? You're gonna be 30. So what's the difference between being 30 and not having the degree and being 30 and having the degree? It's not the age, I'll tell you that. So, if you're looking for a book that actually seems to have a big effect, I know it had an effect on me, that's very easy to digest, a very good read, and right to the point. He doesn't mess around. He tells it like it is, and again, seems to connect with you throughout the entire book. I'd recommend The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. So again, great book. He talks about how you jumpstart your income, your life, and your success. It's not just a business book. It might be disguised as one, but it's not. I didn't take a single business thing out of this, really. What I found, sure, join a business group, I guess that's businessy, but it's just more like-minded people. If I was, a dancer, I'd find a dance group. If I was a bartender, I'd find a bartending group. It doesn't matter. Find groups of people that you're like and that you can share ideas with. Find groups of people that you want to be like and join them. You want to be a millionaire? Talk to millionaires. You want to be in better shape? Talk to the athletes at your gym. You want to be a reader? Join a book club. The people that you're around are the people you're going to be like. So take inventory of your friends. Take inventory of the people in your life. Are they beneficial? Do you want them there? As he talks about, you have 3-minute friends. You have 3-hour friends. You may even have 3-day friends. Don't spend 3 hours on a 3-minute friend. Don't spend 3 days on a 3-hour friend. Everyone has a place. Everyone has an effect in your life. Make sure you understand what it is and where it is. But that's my tale. Again, great book if you're looking to get it. It's a little harder one to find, at least via libraries. It seems like it's in demand. But again, I'll have the link in my show notes so you can purchase online if you like. This, fingers crossed, nothing changes. This is the next one I'm looking to do. It's called Yes And. It's by Kelly Leonard and Tom Yorton. It's a different book than what I've been doing. It's a creativity book in essence. Apparently it'll help me increase my creativity. It'll give me some new ideas. Yes, it's back on the business line, but it's not marketing. It's not, operations. It's just trying to get that other side of the brain up and running. So again, I'll have that in the book, in the show notes. It's Yes And by Kelly Leonard. So it should be a good one. If you want to read along, you know where to find me. We'll see you next week.